Right now, a Dane County judge restores collective bargaining rights by striking down several parts of Act 10, what it means for unions in the state.
Also, we hear from some local grocery stores about how they're dealing with the cost of eggs as prices continue to soar.
And later, with the gun deer season now over, we take a trip to the butcher shop as they begin processing. You're watching News 3 Now at 5. And once again, we have breaking news this evening. After 13 years, Act 10 has been struck down by a Dane County judge.
Political reporter Will Keneally is here with more. Will?
Well, that's right. This was a decision heralded by public sector unions who lost many of their collective bargaining rights under that 2011 law. Now, after that was passed, unions could not bargain for changes to their benefits. They only could bargain for raises that could only be tied to inflation. Now, this only impacted general employees, not police and fire, for example. And that distinction is why a Dane County judge finally struck down the law today. Now, it was welcomed by the unions today. The American Federation of Teachers Wisconsin president said in a statement that, quote, "I'm thrilled that this law has been ruled unconstitutional. And if it is upheld in further court cases, employees will have the opportunity to create and join unions that advocate for what will help improve public education." We also spoke with conservative attorney Rick Essenberg for more on his reaction to today's decision.
This case departs from the proper application of the rational basis standard because it really involves second guessing the boundaries of the legislature's definition of what constitutes a public safety employee.
Now, you may remember this story from back in July where a judge issued an initial decision previewing this final decision that came today. Now, this case is almost certain to be appealed to the state Supreme Court, which is controlled by a liberal majority.
Will, thank you. We'll continue to follow it. Governor Evers is ordering flags to fly at half-staff today in honor of former state representative Betty Jo Nelson. Nelson passed away on October 17th at the age of 89. She was first elected to the state assembly in a special election in 1979 and ultimately served 6 terms in the state legislature. In 1987, Nelson made history as the first woman elected to serve as minority leader. In 1990, she resigned from the legislature to serve in the administration of President George H.W. Bush as administrator of the Food and Nutrition Service within the United States Department of Agriculture.
A little bit of snow to start the week. Let's get a look at your first warn forecast. Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington out on the weather patio. Alex.
Looks a little bit like winter outside, feels like winter outside, although the flurry activity that we had this morning, a lot of that has since not quite melted away, but it is largely gone, at least out here on the patio. Just a little bit here behind me, but the temperature is still feeling absolutely like winter as we plan the rest of your evening. Get ready for temperatures still way below normal with partly cloudy to clear skies hovering right around 22 to 23 degrees. As you can see my breath out here on the polar patio, no doubt. 26 in Madison right now, 25 to the south in McFarland. You go to the west, it's also 26 degrees, so making just a little bit of headway on the temperature each of these days as we've been coming out of that polar plunge over the weekend. But down to 19 out in Vernon County right now, 21 in Janesville, 26 to the north in Camp Douglas. Let's track those temperatures starting off Tuesday morning. You'll wake up to middle to upper teens to start off the day, getting into the upper 20s. That's still about 10 degrees below normal for this time of year. But look at it as we go into Wednesday, starting off in the mid-20s. So the lows will be in the mid-20s, highs getting into the middle to upper 30s as we start to approach that lunch hour out ahead of a cold front. And what happens after that? We got another polar plunge on the way for southern Wisconsin. How cold will the temperatures get? And will we have any snow with that polar cold front coming up? I have the answer in a few minutes.
Alex, thank you. President Biden has changed his mind and decided his son Hunter will not face jail time after federal gun and tax charges. In a statement released last night, the president granted his son a full and unconditional pardon, clearing him of all crimes that he has, quote, committed or may have committed from January 1st of 2014 to December 1st of this year. It comes as Hunter Biden was set to be sentenced this month and could have faced years in prison after being convicted of felony gun charges and pleading guilty to federal tax fraud.
It's about as broad as any pardon that I am aware of. You know, Biden was willing to cross the line that he wasn't willing to cross up until yesterday.
Well, President-elect Donald Trump called it an abuse of justice and added, quote, "Does the pardon given by Joe to Hunter Biden include the J6 hostages who have now been imprisoned for years?"
President-elect Trump's second pick for U.S. Attorney General is on Capitol Hill today. Attorney General nominee Pat Bondi met with the incoming chair of the Senate Judiciary Committee, Senator Chuck Grassley of Iowa. Trump tapped the former Florida State Attorney General and staunch ally after his first choice, former Congressman Matt Gaetz, withdrew. Bondi will be tasked with overhauling the Department of Justice, which Trump says was weaponized under the current administration.
Should I earn the trust and the nomination from all of the senators, I will do my best every day to work tirelessly for the American people.
Trump is looking to put another longtime associate, Kash Patel, at the helm of the FBI. Christopher Wray's term doesn't end until 2027, and the president-elect's intention to replace him with someone whose promise to purge the agency is drawing scrutiny. Also expected on the Hill this week, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy. They're set to meet with House Republicans to talk about cuts to federal spending, a top priority for their boss.
The Supreme Court hearing arguments from the e-cigarette industry over the FDA's rules against flavored vaping products. The e-cigarette industry believes the FDA violated federal law by changing the rules for how its products are evaluated. Dessert-flavored vaping products are under scrutiny because of their popularity with children. The e-cigarette industry says the flavored nicotine products help Americans transition away from traditional cigarettes. Well, if you're preparing to bake your holiday treats, you may find that eggs are cracking away at your wallet.
Arman Rahman talked to local experts and grocers to try to help you get a better deal. Arman?
Susan and Eric, we're used to hearing about inflation or economic trends boosting prices, but experts say this is about health, avian flu.
I think still a lot of it is going back to avian influenza.
What does avian flu still have to do with the price of eggs? At this time of year, a lot.
So supply is down and demand is strong.
Baking season again being present. Our eggs are flying off the shelf.
At family-owned Miller & Sons Grocery in Verona, they've seen prices fly up and down since Colorado got hit with 2 million cases of avian flu back in July.
When we go from $3 a dozen to $6 a dozen, in a month, I feel for the customers having to buy those.
And if you think that's no yoke, the shelves are sometimes an empty coop.
Bigger brands. Right now, I can only get one case of certain brands of eggs, and those are gone in a day, and you hope to just make it to the next day.
They're not the only one. At Trader Joe's on Monroe Street, a sign in their empty shelf reads, "Market fluctuations have scrambled the cost of our egg varieties. We will have limited amounts of our cage-free eggs available."
Hopefully, yeah, at least with the current situation, I don't think we should see too many shortages.
But ask the experts. UW poultry specialist Ron Keene says costs may stay rotten until the country gets a handle on influenza.
There's certainly a group that would like us to start vaccinating. That's a little bit of a political issue because it can affect exports.
In the meantime, managers at Miller's say if you don't want to crack the bank when you're baking for the holidays, you should look for some unlikely, cheaper options.
Smaller farms typically don't get hit as bad as the big farms, right? So those prices haven't changed as much, but it's odd to see organic eggs less expensive.
Now, Keene says influenza doesn't affect any specific type of eggs like cage-free or range.
Armand, thank you. Heads up if you drive an electric vehicle. Starting next year, EV owners in Wisconsin will have to pay a new tax when powering up at a charging station. The 3-cent per kilowatt-hour tax looks to boost the state's EV infrastructure and help build more charging stations. The State Department of Revenue estimates the tax will generate more than $3 million in revenue next year. As of September, there are nearly 27,000 electric vehicles registered in Wisconsin.
For many Wisconsinites who spent the past 2 weeks hunting, the blaze orange can now be packed away and attention shifted to what comes next.
Our Kyle Pozorski spoke with a meat processor today about the next step for those who came home with a deer.
Wisconsin's gun deer hunt is finally over, and that means it's time for the all-important step to get the meat processed.
Smokehouse is where the magic happens.
John Hamm has been processing meat in the Mauston area for decades. From steaks to chops and roast, Hamm's Wisconsin River Meats has been staying busy throughout the entirety of the 2024 deer season.
The hunters have been very successful this year.
The meat processor has taken in over 1,300 deer since the gun hunt began. and that's on top of 800 brought in during archery season.
If the hunting season was tempered by anything, it was kind of a cold season this year.
He says while other competitors have gotten away from wild game processing, they've stayed busy, owing the success to hunters trusting them over all these years.
Deer processing has built our business, and we encourage it, and we give full support to the hunters and to the processing community. I've still got customers for families for deer processing from the 70s still coming.
And while John did not personally bring home any deer this year, he says for those who did, getting in early for processing is solid advice no matter where you go.
We should have all the archery orders done by Christmas, and the other orders we'll have done sometime after that.
In Austin, Kyle Pazorski, News 3 Now.
Kyle, thank you. And John additionally says if you do plan to hold off on getting the meat processed, make sure you keep the meat in a dark, cold area.
Still ahead at 5, how much shoppers spent on Black Friday over the holiday weekend.
Plus, the shopping continues. It is Cyber Monday today. What security experts say you can do to avoid getting scammed.
On Wall Street, a record high close for both the NASDAQ, up 186 points, and the S&P, which adds about 15. The Dow falls more than 128. We'll be right back.
You're watching News 3 Now, brought to you by Cardinal Heating and Air Conditioning.
Come on, baby. Don't be like that. We can get through this. I know we've had some hiccups, but I can't afford to lose you. A new furnace just isn't in my budget.
Worried about breaking the bank? Ask us about our monthly payment plans.
To everyone who's hungry for something special,
Culver's is the place for us. Hi, what can I make fresh for you today? It's nice being greeted by people who are glad to see you. And I appreciate that they use real ingredients, like fresh beef and Wisconsin cheese. The frozen custard is so fresh and creamy, it tastes like it was made just for us. It's our pleasure. Just spending time with family, that's what mealtime at Culver's is all about.
From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious!
This holiday season, recharge with the Planet Fitness Black Card for just $1 down and $24.99 a month. So instead of fighting a stranger over a T-Rex, bring a friend for free and work out on the TRX. Instead of freezing in line for a deal, relax with some hydro massage feels. Instead of in-laws in your face.
Did you hear the owl?
Get some space at any of our 2,600 locations with the PF Black Card. Just $1 down, $24.99 a month. Deal ends Friday, December 6th.
When I think of Madison No Fear Dentistry and what that means to me, it really is about it not being scared, not being judged. I feel that they've got my best interests at heart. I think that coming to Madison No Fear Dentistry is more than just coming to a dental office. It's meeting really great people that care about you. Madison No Fear Dentistry has helped change my life, and I believe it can help change other people's lives as well.
Don't miss a chance to win a new furnace from AirServe of Madison. Send us a photo of your old, ugly furnace for a chance to win a new, beautiful furnace in the Ugliest Furnace Photo Contest on channel3000.com. Brought to you by AirServe of Madison.
You don't need to battle addiction alone. Contact the great people at Wood Violet Recovery today. You could be on your way to recovery the same day. Wood Violet Recovery works with a wide range of insurance networks, so a large portion of your treatment may be covered. Wood Violet Recovery will create the treatment plan that best suits your needs. Unlike other rehab facilities, phones and laptops are welcome. Today may feel dark, but there's a brighter tomorrow. Contact Wood Violet Recovery now.
Wisconsin's Act 10 is struck down. Will Keneally breaks down what it means for some of Wisconsin's public employees. And then we're taking a closer look at the multiple outbreaks of foodborne illnesses in our state. How you can keep your family safe. That's tonight at 6.
Start your new day with the News 3 Now This Morning team, bringing you local breaking news, exploring all that makes our area special, and letting you know what to expect when you head out the door. The Emmy Award-winning News 3 Now This Morning, weekdays. You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Today is Cyber Monday, and security experts are warning that while shoppers are scouring the internet searching for those deals, Scammers are lurking in the online shadows.
The FBI reports in 2022, more than 12,000 people said they were victims of holiday shopping scams, resulting in at least $73 million in losses. On CBS Mornings, the government's cybersecurity chief had tips on how we can all protect ourselves.
So install your updates, right? All those devices where you see those annoying, you must update. What that's all about is security. And so what you need to do, update your devices to the latest protection and turn on your automatic updates. That way you don't have to do that. It'll just do it overnight.
In addition to updating software before shopping, Jen Easterly advises using strong passwords, turning on multi-factor authentication, and using secure Wi-Fi. It was a record-breaking Black Friday for online shopping. New numbers from Adobe Analytics show online shoppers spent $10.8 billion on Friday. That's up $1 billion from last year. MasterCard reports online Black Friday sales were up nearly 15%, while in-store sales grew less than 1%. So why did people buy? Well, MasterCard says jewelry, electronics, and apparel were the top purchases.
Sunday lived up to all the hype as one of the busiest travel days of the year. The Transportation Security Administration says more than 3 million people were screened at airports across the country, making it the busiest day ever for air travel. Sunday eclipsed the previous record that was just set in July.
The first big lake effect snowstorm of the season dumped 2 to 5 feet of snow over Buffalo's southern suburbs, while millions of other people spent their Sunday digging out in Michigan, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. In Dunkirk, New York, the massive dig out continued this morning, even as people are bracing for more snow. Forecasters say the lake effect snow will continue through tomorrow evening. Some places near Lake Erie could see another foot of snow. Residents in Watertown, New York are also struggling with the pre-winter deluge.
It's a lot of snow. Just try to stay out here every couple hours to keep up with it, and that's all we can do.
All across the eastern U.S., the Arctic chill lingers this week with temperatures running 10 to 20 degrees below normal.
It makes us feel like warm and
Yes,
cozy.
it does.
Let's get a look at the first one forecast. Here's Alex with the latest.
Yeah, it is nice to actually come in out of the patio and get here into the warmer studio. And we got more Arctic air in our forecast. It's a roller coaster temperature forecast over the course of the next 10 days. We've got another plunge as early as Thursday going on into Friday, where we have another polar cold front that moves into southern Wisconsin. But it's very short-lived. Look at the upcoming weekend. Temperatures back up into the 40s by the time we get to Sunday. It's all part of the 3 things you need to know. A dusting Wednesday evening with that polar cold front coming through, bringing that Arctic air again on Thursday with 40s for this weekend and maybe even some showers. 26 out there right now. That wind chill is 18. Winds are not quite as strong as what we experienced over the weekend, so the wind chill factor not as cold as what we were seeing over the past couple of days. 26 seems to be a very popular number across Dane County, although we'll sprinkle in a 25 in Mount Orab and a 25 also in McFarland. And in Oregon, Belleville, you're at 24 degrees. A little cooler off to the northwest, Viroqua at 19, 26. Camp Douglas and 21 in Mineral Point in Watertown at 25 degrees here at 5, a little bit after 5 o'clock at night. Planning our evening, we go down into the lower 20s by 10 o'clock. Jacob will be here at 10. Lower 20s, wee hours of the morning, and then we'll end up in the mid to upper teens as clouds will be on the increase a little bit as we head towards 5 o'clock, but then going back towards partly sunny conditions expected on Tuesday. Overnight lows will do 16 in Madison, 16 in Camp Douglas, and 17 in Janesville, warming up into the upper 20s on Tuesday. Mind you, that high temperature of 37, that's average, but this is a little bit better than the lower 20s that we were experiencing the past couple of days. Now let's fast forward to Wednesday. Temperatures in the mid to upper 30s by the time we get to the lunch hour, and watch the crash in temperatures. When you join us for our 10 o'clock newscast Wednesday night, temperatures will be down into the teens already. Starting off Thursday morning in the lower teens, and wind chills will be much colder than that. Join us at 6 o'clock and I'll show you how cold those wind chills will get. Cold front coming through on Wednesday with a few snow showers. The peak of that snow shower activity could be impacting our rush hour on Wednesday. Dusting at most is expected with this brief bout of light snow with that polar cold front. So not expecting heavy snows, but we most certainly will have those strong winds coming in Thursday morning. Fast forward to the weekend. How about this? Also on our Channel 3000 Facebook, we've got a little bit of commentary going about, did you like last weekend? Some of you may enjoy the cold January-like temperatures, and well, do you like these temperatures instead? So check that out on our Facebook. Warming up this weekend, 36 Saturday, 45 Sunday, 40 on Monday. Still a weather system potentially in the cards Tuesday night going into Wednesday that the First Warn Weather team is keeping an eye on. But warmer next week, most certainly, for sure. And those temperatures again next week, at least we won't be looking at polar temperatures next week, a little bit closer to normal.
Alex, thank you. And coming up, a German man going to new depths to inspire a new way of living. The story after the break.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Like a bowl of cherries, life in Attic Angel is healthy and sweet. Our independent and assisted living lifestyles include newly renovated apartments, engaging social activities, and wellness support that is tailored to you. As time marches on, we promote the idea that life can always be a bowl of cherries. Attic Angel, the house that angels built.
Get great gifts this holiday season at Menards. Metabo has the power tools to take your project to the next level. Get any of these high-performance Metabo power tools today for just $99 each. Store your tools and organize your garage with our wide selection of Masterforce storage products. They're spacious, durable, and designed to last a lifetime. Get this Masterforce rolling tool chest for $699.98 now at Menards.
Warm season's greetings to you all from Menards.
I've been a motorcyclist for a little over 20 years now. I always wanted to have a motorcycle my whole life, and dashing helps me support that hobby. I love the flexibility of dashing. I love the connections I make. Dashing lets me do what I want, when I want. I'm my own boss now. If dashers can maintain their freedom, flexibility, and independence, and have access to benefits, that would really be the best of both worlds. Portable benefits would help me cover medical costs, dental, vision. That would be fantastic.
Want a flatter, tighter tummy? Then check out new Ab EX from Sono Bello.
After my pregnancies, my body just never bounced back. I had this stomach overhang that made me self-conscious.
Emotionally, it was really sad. Feeling good up here, but you look down and you don't.
After having my babies, it went in different direction. From here, it went to here, and I just couldn't get rid of that.
Introducing Ab EX from Sono Bello. Remove fat and lose excess skin permanently in just one visit.
I got the tummy tuck results without the tummy tuck downtime.
And I finally got the flat stomach I wanted.
I'm able to get back in my size 8 jeans. I feel sexy, I feel confident.
It feels good to feel good and look good. The mommy belly is gone.
Schedule your free, no obligation consultation and find out how you can get $250 off instantly. Call 1-888-557-5298 or go to sonobello.com.
It's the Get Holiday Ready sales event with the Ford crew.
Maverick, Ranger.
Another truckload of trucks?
Big event needs a big selection. Right, like the Ford F-Series. Best-selling trucks for 47 years. Gas, hybrid, electric, and big selection means great deals. Exactly, which means it's the best time to buy.
Choose Flex Buy on F-150 and get 1.9% APR financing for 66 months, plus 1,000 Flex Buy and 1,000 holiday bonus cash. See your Wisconsin Ford dealer.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Well, many people dream of having a place by the water, but what about in the water?
For the past 2 months, a German man has been living inside a capsule underwater, trying to break the Guinness World Record. Leah Mishkin reports from London.
Rudiger Koch says he wakes up at 6 a.m., checks the news, then gets started with his day.
The aerospace engineer has been living inside this underwater capsule off the coast of Panama for 61 days. He says he does miss a real shower 36 feet below the surface, but enjoys the comfort of TV, a computer, internet, and electricity.
I don't feel like I'm suffering down here. Not at all. The hardest is probably, well, sometimes I would like to go diving.
The 59-year-old wants to inspire a new way of living.
Moving out to the ocean is something we should do. That would be actually a contribution to restore things like reefs.
He told a reporter it's much calmer down here, not like city life. His team looks on from a research lab above.
We started the record attempt on September 26th, and then we're going until January 24th, and that's going to be 120 days.
120 days in a space, that's about the size of 2 parking spots side by side. Leah Mishkin, CBS News, London.
An American, by the way, currently holds the Guinness World Record for longest time spent living in an underwater fixed habitat. He spent 100 days just off the coast of Key Largo, Florida.
Well, stay with us for a final check of your First Warn forecast.
Discover more ways to save on appliances at our Brothers Main bargain rooms. Get discounts on top brand closeouts, returns, and scratch and dents. Minor dings, major savings. Plus, you can take your purchase home today. Feel like family. Brothers Main.
This is for all the lonely people, thinking that life has passed them by. Don't give up until you drink from the silver cup and ride that highway in the sky.
When you bring home Jones No Antibiotics Ever all-natural fully cooked meatballs, you're bringing home a better meatball. It tastes better because we use only high-quality ingredients. It's better for you because we don't use sugar or preservatives, and they're free from gluten, dairy, soy, and wheat. They're packed with protein, and ultimately, you're getting a better meal. Jones, making mealtime better since 1889.
Funny Girl is the theatrical event of the season. Entertainment Weekly raves. Funny Girl is a love letter to the big old-fashioned Broadway musical. Don't miss Funny Girl. Playing December 31st through January 5th at Overture Center. Tickets at overture.org.
Janesville Nissan, we treat our customers the way we want to be treated. It's in everything we do and every deal we make. You won't find that at most other dealerships. Come see why you'll feel great buying a vehicle from Janesville Nissan. Exceptional savings, award-winning service.
Dutch Boy, it's only paint. It's only paint that comes in an award-winning twist and pour container. It's only paint that can cover the brightest shade of orange known to mankind in just one coat. It's only paint that will inspire you to write your masterpiece. It's only paint that will help you become TV's hottest writer, where one day you'll meet this guy who starred in that thing. So yeah, it's only paint. Only easy opening, smooth pouring, change your life both professionally and romantically. Dutch Boy Paint.
Maddie has heart failure, and it can't be cured. Our neighbor is using a Grace, so I asked Maddie's doctor about them. Turns out, they can help us. They're already managing Maddie's breathing trouble better. A Grace, authentic care and connection. Visit agrace.org to learn more.
You have a consumer issue, and you keep getting the runaround. Need help?
It's call for action to help me. Nobody else did.
Contact our team by phone or on channel3000.com. Call for action, only on News 3 Now, moving forward for you.
Coming up tonight right here on the CBS Evening News, President Biden's full and unconditional pardon for his son Hunter. One of the most sweeping presidential pardons in half a century. Why some Democrats say the decision sets bad precedent. That and more headlines tonight here on the CBS Evening News.
Well, finally at 5, the White House all decked out for the holidays. More than 300 volunteers and resident staff spent the weekend putting up decorations for the final time during the Biden administration.
Looks like your house, right?
Just like it. Very
Beautiful.
similar.
The First Lady's office says this year's theme is a season of peace and light. The decor includes 83 Christmas trees, more than 28,000 ornaments, and 165,000 lights. Every holiday season, the White House welcomes around 100,000 people to check out the display in person. National Guard families will be the first to tour the decorations today.
I also have a harp player in my living room just to add to the ambiance. Let's go to Alex. Final check of the forecast.
Yeah, actually coming home from the farm, saw a lot of cars driving on the highway with the Christmas tree, and I bet it was a bit uncomfortable for the weekend. We do have some warmer temperatures, though, that are on the way this week. Let's take a look at our roller coaster temperature ride. 36 on Wednesday, and then another polar cold front comes through Thursday, 22. That's the temperatures you'd see in January. But then look at the swing by the weekend. Temperatures in the middle to upper 30s Saturday, maybe mid 40s, a couple showers on Sunday, going on into Sunday night and into Monday. And next week, it looks like the temperatures will stay a little bit closer to normal. Here's a little bit deeper glimpse of next upcoming weekend with those highs in the 30s to near 45 degrees by Sunday. Wind's not terribly strong either, so that's a plus too. We get warmer temperatures. We don't have quite as windy conditions as we experienced last week, and so quite a bit of improvement, in my opinion. That's a little bit closer to where we should be for this time of year and the rest of the 10-day forecast. Again, next week, temperatures staying in the 30s right now, but the first warm weather team, we've been keeping an eye on a weather system for Tuesday night going on into Wednesday. We'll keep an eye on that. If we can get the cold air and we can get the moisture coming up out of the Gulf of Mexico just right, we could be getting some snow next Wednesday, but we will keep an eye on that.
All right, Alex, thank you. We'll be back in 30 minutes for News 3 Now at 6. Stay tuned now for the CBS Evening News.